This is a Primary 1, Term 2, and Unit 6 lesson. And the main topic for this lesson is construction, assemblage, and paperwork. And the subheading is cutting, wrapping, and gluing. The main objective for this lesson is to construct and assemble simple items with basic skills. What are our tools for this lesson? We need a pencil, a pair of scissors, a cutter, blade, or a knife, a ruler as well. And for our materials, we'll need a card, glue, but to be precise, the white glue will be okay, the glue. What skills are kids going to acquire at the end of this particular lesson? They would learn how to cut, how to join, how to glue, how to wrap, and type. The values we are going to imbibe in our kids when this lesson is done is self-confidence, teamwork, and persistence. Now, our kids or pupils in various ways do various works with paper. They cut, they trim, they join to form some artworks or art forms like the plane or the ship. There's an example of some of the things our kids do. The paper plane and the paper canoe or ship. So these are some of the things our kids do using paper. They join, they cut, they trim, they assemble and construct. Our very purpose is to also try and demonstrate this cutting, wrapping, and gluing using various forms, especially to create a paper bag. Now, one, we have to guide our kids or pupils to discuss the processes of cutting and joining materials into a form. Two, guide pupils to visualize what they make by cutting and joining glue of materials. Now, to also demonstrate basic skills in constructing and assembling an item by cutting, joining for pupils to practice individually or in a group project. Before we end this lesson, I want to take you through a very simple process to do this paper bag, but it will be in details when we get into the demonstration section. But before we get into the demonstration section, I want to give you a fair idea how the item is going to be constructed before we get into the assemblage or the construction bit of the bag or the box. Now, to you, the teacher, let's look at these three keys. These keys are going to help us to understand the next video or the next section of this presentation. Anywhere I'm going to show you an image just after this presentation. Anywhere you find this icon or this image, it means all that area is marked with a ½ inch where this stripe and yellow color is found on the drawn or demonstrated sheet or diagram. Anywhere you find this stripe and yellow marks, the dimension there is a half of an inch. Anywhere you find these circles with a blue color, is 2 inch in dimension. Then this asterisk with red is also 3 inches in dimension. Now with this understanding, we are going to go into the diagram itself so to understand what we're talking about here. Now, this is what I meant by the illustration I gave you earlier. All these areas marked with yellow and stripes have a dimension of ½ an inch. And all the areas with the blue and the circle has a dimension of 2 inches. Then the area in the middle with the asterisk and the red mark also has 3 inches. So basically, these are the marks we are going to generate on our plain sheet or on our card to help us achieve whatever we're going to do. In the demonstration section, the same diagram will be drawn, then it will be explained as to how the cutting, the joining will be done. But before then, we have to know how we got this diagram before we start to do our cutting and joining. When this is done, at the end of the lesson, we must guide our pupils to construct and assemble a simple item by joining and gluing. I can't wait with this theory. I'm just hoping that we get into the demonstration room as early as possible so we get a full grasp of how the demonstration bit is going to be. I'm ready. If you are ready, come with me.
Hello, and welcome to the practical session. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a table mat and how to cover your book. But before then, we have to start with making a table mat. So I have here my card. In order to start, you need to choose your preferred size or the size you think you'll be comfortable with. But me, I'll use 6 inches. That 6 inches by 6 inches to form the square. So I'll start by taking 6 inches from the top and another 6 inches. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is to cut off the shape from the card. You need to take your time whilst you are cutting. Okay, so what you are going to do is to cut off another size from the decorative paper, which we are going to use to decorate the card. But let's see the place that will be more interesting. I think this side will do. So because we are having 6 inches by 6 inches, I'll prefer to cut a size that will be a little bigger than the 6 inches. So here I'll prefer to use 8 inches by 8 inches. So what we are going to do is to take off the 8 inches from the decorative paper. So we start with our marking. Like we did to the card, we are now going to take out the size, the different size from the decorative paper. So we still cut along the line. Right, so we are going to mount the card on the decorative paper, but because we are going to use the front side, which is more decorated than the other, we prefer to turn the paper upside down. Then we put the card in the center or in the middle. Right. So what we are going to do is to apply the glue. We apply the glue to the decorative paper. So before we fold, we need to cut the corners of the paper, that the decorative paper, for easily folding. So we cut just a little. So we start with our folding, but you make sure the card is still at the center. So with the help of the pen cover, you can still straighten up the decorative paper. Okay, so we still have some white spaces left behind. So what we are going to do is to cut a decorative paper to cover the white spaces left here. So because we use 6 inches by 6 inches, I prefer we use 5 inches by 5 inches. So we cut our 5 inches by 5 inches. Alright, so we are to glue the decorative paper to the card. So we still apply the glue to the decorative paper. You then have to fix the decorative paper to cover the white part of the card. We still have to gauge the middle of the card. And make sure it's well centered. So as you can see, our decorative mat is ready now. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Watch out for the next video. Alright, so now we are going to cover our book. That's the Creative Art Book 1. So before we cover the book, you need to take a decorative paper which is bigger than the size of the book. So as you can see, the decorative paper is bigger than that of the book. So we open the book to the center. Then we start with our folding. So you make sure you fold the decorated paper to the spine or inside the spine, and after that you concentrate on each side of the book. You do the same thing to the other side. making the rest of the book rest on the one you just finished. Right, so our book is now ready for use. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Meet you in the next video.